George DeJohn, principal at Claycomb Associates Architects. We've used spray lock for quite a few years now. Most projects we try to make sure that we get it in there because of the benefits that we've seen from it. We'll start with concrete. So concrete's a fantastic product because it's strong and durable, but when you make concrete, obviously water's involved. The problem with that is the water, after the concrete cures, the water wants to come out of it. Now the old style of keeping the water within the concrete was to put a cap on top of that, but that still causes problems because there's still a place for the water to penetrate out the top of it. The spray lock product is different. We like it because they apply it at the time of when the concrete's curing, so it penetrates into the surface level of the concrete. That keeps the water from ever even coming to the surface of the concrete. That's why we've seen the benefit from it. One of our major concerns as architects with buildings is making sure we keep water away from the building and out of the building. We like the spray lock product, especially seeing moisture come up through the slab. The way we understand spray lock is that it keeps that moisture out. From the projects that we've installed spray lock, we haven't had any issues of moisture coming up through the concrete slab. Right now we're working on Caddo Mills ISD. It's a district we've been in for a long time. It's a great client. We've built a great partnership with them. The project is nearly 300,000 square feet, and one of the things we wanted to make sure was that we had the spray lock product on all of the concrete. Also, we have different types of flooring, from a vinyl to a homogeneous wood floor. We've got carpet, tile. All those different flooring types have different reactions to water when it comes up, so we don't want water to get anywhere near the bottom of those floorings, whether it's adhesive or grout. So what we wanted to do was put the spray lock product in all the concrete so it doesn't even give the chance for water to come up to protect the flooring for the life of the building. At Claycomb Architects, we like to build a long-term relationship with the client. From their initial concept, when they know they have a need, whether it's a fast growth district or it's a client looking to update their aging facilities, we'll come in from the start, and then we want to be with them from start to finish, from concept to completion of construction, and then even beyond. We want to get them through the warranty period, but also build a relationship that lasts for years after that. So we'll often work with clients on existing projects that they've had. It may even be an existing building that we didn't work on, but we want to be there to help them with any problems they might have. We've had some projects in the past that did not use the spray lock product, and inevitably there ends up being moisture issues with the slab. So the flooring contractor's in, they're ready to get their flooring down, but they do the moisture test and it comes up too high. So now the different contractors are looking at ways to mitigate the moisture out of the slab, whether it's bead blast, grind it down, something to release the moisture out of it. Anyways, it ends up causing delays on the project. On the projects where we've used spray locks, the moisture in the slab isn't an issue because it's already locked in and the flooring contractor can get to installing right away. Sometimes we'll come into a district with an existing facility. It's an older building that was done before our time, and inevitably they have flooring problems. And when you look at it, almost all the time it's because of moisture coming up in the slab. Now, while we haven't seen that on the projects we've worked on, we know that that's definitely an issue, and so we want to mitigate that in any way we can. By putting spray lock on the projects we've seen, we haven't had those types of issues. Sometimes a client or a contractor will see the spray lock line item when the bids come in, and they don't understand it well enough to know what its real purpose of. So it's often put forth as a cost reduction item. We'll often advise the client against taking the cost reduction because we've seen the benefits from it. It's really cheap insurance to prevent problems with flooring or moisture coming up through the slab later on. So we'll always insist on trying to keep it in if possible. What most contractors understand is the water that comes from underneath the building, from the ground that's naturally below the concrete. So we've seen on second or even third floor spaces where there's no ground beneath the concrete, but there's still moisture within the concrete itself. So we want to make sure we're locking that into not just on the ground floor, because water in the concrete inevitably is going to want to come out. So we want to stop it at the top of it. As much quality control as you try to put into a construction project and as much testing is done specifically on the concrete, inevitably there's inconsistencies with the amount of water put into the concrete and the amount of water used while they're trying to even it out on the top surface. We found that spray lock helps those inconsistencies to go away. When you've got those inconsistencies with water within the slab, inevitably that water is going to want to move and shift to even itself out. By putting the spray lock on the top, the water can move all it wants to, but we know that it's not going to come through the surface of the concrete, and that's what we're looking out for. I'm coming up on 17 years of practicing architecture, and about 8 or 9 years ago is when I first learned about spray lock. So we tried it out on a project, and since then we've wanted to use it on every project since then. It's consistent with the way they apply it and helps keep moisture out of the slab, so we've tried to be consistent with the way we use it on our projects. We haven't had any issues with flooring coming up on projects where we've used spray lock.